Yo, so welcome to BBC West X. This is What You Say, and this is a little program that we decided to put together to use some of the resources that BBC uses to bring you news, topics, bits and bobs like that, and bring it down to our level. Oh goodness, I'm not like really amped this up, have I? But alongside me, I've got my wonderful colleagues and friends alike, Shana, Niamh, and Laura. Everyone say hello.
All right.
Hello.
What up?
So what we're going to be doing is just running through a couple of topics that we've either been posting on the West X Instagram, that Points West has either covered on the telly, or some little ramblings that we've heard around the city and around the country. So the first thing I wanted to kick off with, and be really quite gluttonous and geeky myself, the Avengers trailer came out, and it's one of the biggest, most expensive, most successful productions that's been going for the last 10 years. We're all media buffs ourselves. We all work for BBC Points West, ranging from different things here and there. Either these ladies are making me look excellent at my job or doing my job 10 times better than me, so I thought I'd bring their insights in as well. Avengers fan?
Yes.
Avengers fan? Biggest Avengers fan in the room?
You know I'm not Thaddeous.
Okay, calm. Scene. Well, yeah, so that new trailer came out and it's going to be a massive thing, but more so what I kind of wanted to focus in on is that, you know, we all obviously aspire to get into media at one point. We're in media now and we work for a fantastic production that serves a lot of people, but is the goal for you guys these massive £1 million productions? Is this what you're more interested in going to? What do you think?
Me personally, yeah.
Yeah?
It
is?
Yeah.
What? Since when? Is it? What would you do on there? Like,
Well, I either want to be the star of it, or I want to direct. I want to be able to direct like a big
Eve,
Hollywood
that is
film.
awesome.
I remember her saying she wanted to be
Yeah.
actress.
But it's just trying to find the steps to get there.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm at the moment, I've just opened the door, but I'm enjoying it.
Yeah,
that's
'cause-
the thing.
Yeah.
You're super early in your career, is that right to say? Like, I don't want to be here like you're while young and stuff like that. But
No,
yeah,
really.
you got.
She is.
Yeah, well, to be honest, for your age and for everything that you've been doing, you're quite far down the road. I mean, there's not a lot of people that are as vital to a production like the TV news on BBC One as you, right? So, I mean, what about you guys? Are you more interested in staying on something that's a bit more local and a bit more closer to home, or do you want to be like kind of traveling to all these random
Personally,
spots?
I just want to do sport. Like, if you're going to do a job, you might as well do something like you enjoy, like watching. So sport, I reckon, I'd want to go into. I don't really like films, and like seeing how dramas and films are made.
Because it's a whole different kettle of fish,
Oh
isn't it?
yeah, you have to be so
Yeah.
A lot
patient.
more time.
To do like a minute of like a film, it could take like a day, 2 days. I just haven't got the patience.
That's what my feeling is now. But when I was in college, when I first started studying media in college, I thought, yeah, I want to make films, like, because I think that's kind of what everyone starts off thinking if they want to work in TV, like go for the big dogs. But then the more I looked into what it takes to make a film and the time and the effort and just how long, I think it was the length of time
Yeah.
it takes to the production is just, I'm too impatient.
You can do the same shot
Yeah,
like
me
all
too,
day.
man.
I don't
Yeah.
want to do the same
Yeah.
shot. I'd be doing the lines by the end of the day. I've seen it so many times.
Yeah, I think when you have the experience of being on a set,
Yeah.
whether it's making a music video or making whatever it is, you just realise how long it is. Unless you're on an OB, a live OB, which is a completely different kettle of fish.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, it just...
It's a good thing about what we do, really. Like, we don't have to take
Yeah.
it home. Like, you do your live show. Once it's done, it's done. Next day, it's something new, especially like news and sport.
Yeah.
Once you've done your programme, that's it.
I
done.
think if you are going to go into film, you have to be really passionate about
Yeah.
Really
making
passionate,
film.
yeah.
That's fair enough.
Otherwise, you won't. I don't think you'll make it.
A lot of people are passionate in the production that we're on. A lot of people are passionate in news still.
It's gonna be fine,
Like,
Niamh.
So sorry.
we've got some very like driven producers around where we work as well, isn't it? Like, but does it ever feel like Groundhog Day or anything like that for you guys to coming in and you just you reset and you start at go and you don't really collect $200 immediately? But.
Yeah, but I kind of like that.
Yeah.
It might wear off, but at the moment, I think I'm still enjoying that aspect that every day is a fresh day. I think that's when I started in news. I hadn't experienced that anywhere else because I was working in kind of like feature programs. So working in news was like a breath of fresh air. It was like, oh, you're not working on the same, like just picking up
5
where you left
minutes
off from
or something.
yesterday because
Yeah,
that
yeah.
gets really monotonous.
Monotonous.
Thank you. But news is like every day is like a fresh sheet of paper. It's like a new page. That's
I think it's odd as
100%.
well that it's the same format. Like we do the same thing each day, but it's different
But
as
it's
well.
different, yeah.
So we do the same programs, but it's like each day is anything can happen.
But then I think some people would come into news and wouldn't get a satisfaction out of it. Like they
Yeah.
wouldn't feel like fulfilled. They'd be like, well, what did I work yesterday for all day? And now it's gone.
I'll tell you what I would want to do though, like documentaries, like wildlife documentaries, like David Attenborough.
Well,
Imagine working on that.
Would you like
chilling
to?
in a
Would you?
hide for like
and all
a
the
day?
different cameras and things like that.
But it is very slow.
It is really slow, yeah.
Because you're waiting for that right moment, and it could.
But
And
imagine
you
waiting.
can't sit down for 2 minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that is
exactly.
true. That is true. That is true. But it'd be awesome, though, wouldn't it? Like, imagine that.
There's a new opt-out clause for organ donation, which is coming in 2020. So basically, everybody in the UK is going to be on that list. And if you want to decide that you maybe have something a bit more ceremonial that your family does or anything like that, it'll be for you to opt off. Do you guys have like any family traditions or anything like that? I mean, can you ever imagine yourself being like, no, don't take these. These are my babies.
When it comes to like death,
Yeah.
not like, nah.
Actually, one sec. Just give us a quick update on what organ donation is. Just for everyone that's worried at home.
Oh my! So basically, the reason why he's doing that is because I got confused because I thought organ donation was that if they wanted a kidney, they'd be like ring you up and be like, oh, we want your kidney. Not
That is
when
a thing, though, right?
that is a thing, but not. This is when you die.
Oh, when you pass away.
Yeah, when you die.
But
yeah.
I got confused because I thought they just.
Oh, what? Just like when you're alive, you can give an organ.
Because I know you can, but then when it was like the opt-out thing, I was like, oh, so I have to.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
You
So
know
you
what I
thought you thought you were going to have to live organ donate.
Wow, that's what I got confused.
That's it.
I
Sorry to pull you
understand
out
it
there, but I
now.
promise.
It's
I
all right.
will.
No, it's good. Some people would think that.
applause.
Though.
Yeah.
I think, yeah. But like, I think it should be the other way around, maybe, like where if you want to have your organs donated when you're dead, you have to opt in, I think.
That's what it's like now, though, isn't it?
Well, yeah, that is as
That's how it
as it sits now. Yeah, you put yourself forward.
I'm an organ donor, but I'm not going to lie, I am very pernickety of what they can take because you can be really specific of what you can.
What have you allowed them to take?
So I said they can take
Interesting.
everything other than my eyes and my heart. Everything else they can take.
That's interesting. I think I would do that
My
as well.
heart, I just felt, I know it's useful for other people, but I was just like, I just don't know. It's like your heart, when you move on to like the afterworld, I just thought, and my eyes, I can barely put eyeliner on, so the thought of someone scratching at my corneas when I'm dead, no. But anything else they can take.
No, that's fair though, because each individual's going to have their own stance and stuff like that. You
They
know?
should have done it ages ago though. Like Wales, like I was saying, like Wales has got that thing, so you have to opt out of it. I think it's awesome.
But those are one of the two most crucial things that you can give to someone on the flip side.
Do you get the body
that's
back?
true. Yeah.
So they take the organs, but like, no, because I'm just thinking for like a funeral.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do
Like-
get your body back,
Do they-
or unless you donate your whole body to science.
Yeah.
Oh no, I want to.
Yeah.
That's a different drill.
Yeah, your family get it back, mate.
That's all right then.
Just
no,
my-
because just when you think like with funerals, like they could take it, but then what would your family bury you? Or
It'll be the
cremate you?
lightest I'll be in my whole life.
But your family can still say no, right? Even with this opt
Yeah.
out thing. It's
Can they?
your
It's discretion.
Yeah, because that's what I heard is that
So you say yes, but your family can say no.
Yeah.
if you're on
they
the
have
list,
the
your
last
family
word.
can have the last word.
It's just your
if they don't
wishes.
want you to.
Yeah.
I
That's
think
a bit. That's wrong.
my dad is brown, and when we have this conversation about this, he's fully like, nah, I don't like the thought of giving away my. And I'm like, and I have had a debate with him, like, why not? Like, it's going to be rotting away, and he's like, well, how do you know? You were born with all your organs. How do you know you're not going to need them when you die? I'm like, okay. And obviously everyone has their beliefs, so it's not really for me to argue against him. But it's like after obviously Rob just saying that, it makes me think. Maybe why is it more commonly against with that community of people? Is there a reason that more? Do you know what I mean? Or is it just because
is he
there's
like a
less
religious man or
of
a
us in
superstitious man or anything like that?
society? I don't like. He's not. Not really. Not really. I think he's quite
Interesting.
spiritual.
Yeah.
So it's more of a spiritual
Take it with
thing.
all
Yeah, as in
with
like the
you to
whole.
afterlife.
Yeah, I think that's more of where he's and he just says as well, it's like, imagine you were just like sitting and talking to someone and they had my eyes and you're looking at my eyes, like, it'd be weird. And I was like, well, yeah, let's not go down that road.
Imagine
If you
imagine
think
that.
about it, like say if like my partner died and she was going to give her heart away, and like I don't know if you're allowed to know them, but like knowing that her heart's like beating, like imagine like you can like feel their heart beating.
Yeah, that's what I said to him.
That's like quite warming, isn't it? It gives you a connection with someone else.
That
then.
isn't.
Save someone's life. don't know how to give CPR, but I can actually give them like the organ. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Have that.
School strikes that happen all across the world, especially obviously here in Bristol, hundreds, maybe even thousands of kids just flooding the street, making their voices known about climate change, basically trying to say that, yeah, they've only got one planet, and they don't think that enough is happening now to make sure that their futures are going to be something that's worth hanging about for, to be honest. I mean, you reckon they were right for being out there on the street, or like some politicians kind of said that they weren't?
I wish I was that passionate at that age about
that. I wasn't very, I don't know if I was that woke. I was playing a lot of basketball, a lot of taekwondo, but I don't think I was marching for my rights.
No.
For the climate, the future of the earth.
I think it's odd because even though it was happening back then, I think now it's getting to the more pressing point that if we don't do something, then what's the point?
It's a pivot point.
Yeah.
Now,
So I think. And I don't get that they all talk about MPs saying, oh, they're messing up their education, but this is how they're learning, isn't it? They already know the knowledge that the world is dying, so they're now acting upon it because you're not.
It must be like frustrating to just not see anything happening like in your school. And I mean, a lot of times people have spoken about maybe there needs to be a revision to curriculum and stuff like that. It'd be great if kids learn more about money or learn more about the housing industry and stuff like that, the things that they're going to have to deal with. And I suppose when they don't see as much as what they hope to hear from their teachers, from their inspirations and whatnot, like that they're going to do something about it, must just be like, right, well, I'm going to get out there.
Yeah, it gives me hope for sure that there's kids that are actually concerned enough about it to go on and do stuff like this. Because like you say, I think if I was in school, I would certainly join the protests if some other people
I'd be
were.
off.
Do you know what I mean? I'd be off with them, but if I'd be off for the right reasons, like it's probably just be to bunk.
Same here. Yeah.
But
if you think about it, you should be there, shouldn't you?
Yeah, 100%. I want to be out there with them when they were protesting.
What's like Donald Trump's like? He's not for it, isn't he? Like
Because he thinks it's fake.
Yeah, he thinks it's like
he
fake.
doesn't believe
Fake
it.
news.
Yeah.
Orchestrated and stuff like that.
Yeah,
But I do think there's not a lot of public
awareness.
It's not shown a lot.
The other day, obviously, we work in news, and the national news. One of the stories was that in a certain amount of years' time, maybe 25 years' time, we could be in danger in the UK of running out of water. Now, I've watched a documentary that is quite clear about the fact that we are going to run out of water if we carry on the way we are. Just period. There's already some countries that had a water crisis where they already kind of gotten so low on water they've had to be like, red alert, we need to stop. So, and I remember one of our presenters, Alex, was kind of like, this should be the top story. And it wasn't, it was Brexit, surprise. And it was like, I think that's the whole problem right there, is that we're more concerned about leaving the EU than the fact that we might be running out of water.
Yeah, that's
kind of
shocking.
monopolised.
How bad is that? And it's
scary.
like, why isn't that the top story? And that's what, like you said, it's not high
It's
up
not a
on the
priority
priority
anymore.
list, and it should be. That should be the thing we're most concerned about, in my opinion, surely in everyone's opinion.
By 2030, Bristol wants to become carbon neutral, which sounds epic. It sounds epic, but I mean, I think and look around, and I wonder how much of this is actually running off something that is not going to actually fit that quota.
What does carbon neutral mean? What do they mean by carbon
neutral?
neutral?
So it's the amount of carbon that you put out negatively into the atmosphere is at least equal or less than the amount that on the opposite side. So you just basically balance. You're not causing more emissions than you're
you're
bringing
balancing out.
Basically.
Got you.
I've got a low emissions car, so.
I have two.
Congrats.
Have you?
I got no emissions car.
Well, I got petrol.
I got petrol.
So could you ever see yourself like selling, ditching, handing in, whatever the situation would be, your car, and then getting a bike? First of all, does anyone live too far for that, realistically? Where you live?
I live in Weston.
And we are in Clifton right now, in Bristol. So
I mean, I could, but it would take me a
good
while.
We'd still be waiting for you for the 1 o'clock bulletins, I guess.
I'm not going to lie, I am the worst person for this.
She's awful.
I don't like the bus.
Awful.
No.
I ain't going to car share because I like listening to Whitney in my car. It's my own space before work, and when I go home, it's my own space. Do you know what I mean?
I do.
Especially with like the weird shifts that we work as well, the shift patterns.
But you outright refuse to catch such a bus.
Yeah, no way. Like,
But is it just more about the bus?
personal
As a
space.
vibe,
There is
or-
nothing worse than getting on a bus when you've got a sweaty window and the only seat is next to the window, and you've paid a ticket and you have to stand up and get like thrown about, and I think it's because I don't know the city very well as well.
Yeah, fair.
So if I had to go somewhere I didn't know on the bus, I wouldn't know where to press the buzzer. I'm just probably I just don't like it. And
I used to take the bus
Did
when I was
you?
at college. Yeah, when I was at college, I took the bus, and then I got a car, and then I did think about just not driving the car for a while, and but then it's like I just pass. So it's sort of that idea of like, oh, I want to drive.
Just make me feel bad though if I think about it. Like now it's like I know I should get the bus, but no.
I think it's the prices as well though, because for a train. When you're 16, you have to pay an adult price, but you don't get an adult wage.
Interesting.
Oh yes, they throw that in there.
Yeah.
So that to me, because I got caught once. I did actually lie about my age, but I think I just turned 16, and they were like, "Oh, you've paid for a child ticket." I did ask for an adult ticket though, but they gave me a child's one.
This was on the first bus?
No, this was on a train. But I was like, oh, okay, I'll just go with it then. And then he caught me out at the security, and I had to lie about my age.
Did you?
I just changed the number in my date of birth.
It's deep.
But
it's
it's
So I've been living with you ever since.
yeah.
I was like, he was really ready to let that one go. Like,
But it is. I think it's just ridiculous that. I think if the buses were cheaper,
yeah.
a lot more people would go on it.
You reckon it's been made too difficult to make these more green, carbon neutral choices? Would that be right to say?
Yeah, and also
Like, listen, we got a monopoly on the buses in here, and I think it's difficult because they can obviously set their own ruling for the whole of the transport system in the city, and that grinds quite people's gears.
Apparently they're like
Sounds like
late
goose.
though. Like all the news
Right.
shows out, they're either late, full, or just don't turn up.
That's what I was going to say. Bristol in particular, I haven't
awful.
lived in another city, so I can't really say, but
Western's
Bristol's
bad.
awful. It's so bad. And in a city that should be better just because of how many people are coming here. Like you're saying, the buses are awful, they're never on time, they're too expensive, and trains too infrequent and expensive. And there's no alternative. It's either that or a bike, and then it's so hilly. So I think actually, although that sounds stupid, that actually puts a lot of people off riding a bike. It puts me off riding a bike.
Yeah.
You get into work and you look a mess.
Yeah, you're a hot, sweaty.
Hey,
It's not a good
I
look.
rock it.
You rock it now.
Yeah, but you're
I come in like try and smolder and stuff like that, and
You're one of the only people that
We
can
had
get
to
away with
dry
it.
your, like his clothes the other day were so wet. I was like, you need to put them on a radiator, Dad. They were dripping.
I do it for the whole parade. I just
good
do
though.
I do a lap of the thing, and then go out and change.
It's exercise though. It is good,
Yeah.
but a lot
Is
of
that-
a lot of women they're not about that life, that sweaty life. I'm not about that sweaty
On the way
life.
home, it's all right, but then it's like
Yeah, it's downhill on the way
Exactly.
back.
on the way home.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one journey is going to be uphill, isn't it? And it's just it's not the one.
Would you car share with me?
I've thought about this, but
I
our
thought about
shifts,
car share, yeah.
Our
our
so
shifts are
different.
different. We rarely have the same start time,
is true, that's
which
true.
is one of us could sacrifice and come in a bit earlier, but
No.
yeah, again, not really about that life. That's really bad though. We should be.
I like it. Cool.
Honesty, innit? Honesty.
I thought about car sharing before,
Got to
but
be honest within yourself
Yeah,
first.
car share with me.
well, I don't live near
To be fair, I don't really want you getting in my car with me ever again.
No, I don't trust you, to be honest.
That's awkward.